I'm James from Vincent Music. Today I'm going to be taking you through a tutorial on playing Paradise Coldplay. It's a Rockschool version, and I'm going to play it a little bit differently for just people with smaller hands, and make some adjustments here. So I won't play it with the backing because usually you would. I'll take this through first by itself, and then we can break some of this down. So, sounds like. Okay, so now a couple of adjustments I made in the A section here. So bar 5, bar 8, instead of doing that octave stretch, I'm just looking at chords and getting rid of the duplicates. So you've got G at the top, G at the bottom. We could choose one. I really think it's a good idea to get the outside ones as much as possible. For the harmony, you want that top note and that bass. So we keep that. So we're going to lose the bottom G. And that thumb can kind of, either the thumb can just alternate between B flat and G, or we can just do what you would have done, 2, 3, 5, down to the 1, and you can kind of jump a bit together. The second way is better if you can, because it just puts you a bit closer to each of the notes. So you go 2, 3, 5, 1 at the bottom. Now here, at the C/E chord, it's just going to be a C major chord, losing that bottom G. And so on. So that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it with smaller hands, just losing the duplicate notes. Then you've got this bass down here, real character of the piece. tapping out rhythms, tapping out separate hands here, because it's quite a coordination to get right here. If you're ever doing one of these Rockschool exams, you know you can kind of improvise around rhythm to a certain extent, as long as the main harmony's there and the main feel, the style is there, and that can be okay. And you've got the backing going on, or perhaps a real band if you're lucky enough. So I recommend, if you're really going to get it just right with the rhythm, I recommend trying to count and tap one hand at a time, and then work at putting together. Then plan, count, and tap the other, and reverse the hands, and then finally putting it together at the end. So I'll break down that A section bars, just the first 4 bars. Good to work in just those little segments first. It would sound like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Almost right, actually got that wrong at the end there. Let me try that again. And you notice bars, let's get this right here. Bar 5 and 7 are identical. Bar 6 and 8 are similar, not quite the same. But yeah, helps to tap it out. So we go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that at the end, that 3 and 4 and pretty distinctive. Let's do the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. You could possibly end on the 1 because that's where it leads to at the end. That 4 and 1 right at the end from bar 8 to bar 9. Pardon me. And then, yeah, learning to lock it together. You may need to keep the ands just sequentially after, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and to get all the lining up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. That can be quite tricky actually. Anyway, and when you get that mastered, then you want to work on playing one hand at a time. Again, I'd be counting along with that. I'd start probably with the left to think about, particularly with those fingering changes. So left hand would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Going back down to 1. Now your right hand, don't forget we're going to lose some of those low G's on those big chords there, so you don't have to stretch it as much. I still try to get the habit of 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 5. If you can't do that in that chord, you can use 1, 2, 5 as an alternative. It just means your thumb will have to jump around, which is a different kind of challenge. So again, we're going to play this and count at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Easier said than done, believe you me. That's a tricky thing. I'm surprised I got that first try. And now, for the big thing, we can then try to put it. We're going to tap and then play. So let's go back to the right hand tapping and the left hand playing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was wrong. This is going to test me a little bit here. I'll slow it down a bit. No need to go so fast. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 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 Think I got it. That's challenging. And then the other hand. We'll swap it in reverse. Play the right. Tap the left. With the fingering adjustments, I would recommend actually crossing out the notes you don't need, so it doesn't get distracting. But for me, I'm just going to read it on the fly here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I think I got it. And then finally getting everything at the same time. Oh, fail. Again. That was also a fail. Let's try it again. Tricky stuff, then you do it over and over again until it starts to feel more coordinated, and eventually adding pedal. Now you can with these Rockschool things is add on the backing. So you put the backing on in the background. In fact, I think I'd have time for that to show you what I mean. So if you've downloaded the audio at the beginning of the book, you can, so I'm off camera here, just downloading that. I'm just about to play this backing track. So if you download the audio, you get all the pieces, the improvisations, the ear tests, and you'll find that what they call grade pieces. There's full versions, so there's a full and there's a backing track. Now, if you're learning this, I'd actually recommend you getting as another learning tool, get the full one, and you'll hear the piano playing at the same time, and then we can just do it with one hand. This will be at full speed though, so it's another way of practicing it. I'd still recommend doing the way I was showing you first, but this backing track is another kind of tool. So let's see if we can get this in the background here. It's loading up. Paradise BT, it's called. Backing track. My computer is 10 years old, so that's quite slow. But it's still kicking along. It's still kicking along. So here we go.
Paradise, paradise, paradise.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So let's do the left hand. That was just the first 4 bars. It's when you really want to get up to speed, and then we can do the same thing with the right hand. And if you've got access to something, iPad, phone that's close to Bluetooth, you could do this right next to the piano. My computer's across the other side of the room, but I'll show you how that would go now with the right hand.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The 4-bar intro. So not only are these used for the exams, but they can be a good practice tool as you're learning the piece. So I recommend using those as well when you get it up to a substantial speed. And but yeah, and of course this is like a shortened version of the song as well. There you have it. There's a bit of a piano tutorial of getting introduced to this piece. There's a lot of rhythm coordination work. That's what you're going to spend a lot of your focus on. In the end though, if you're performing it or you're doing it for an exam, you can go, there's an element of just getting the right feel of the style, but going through the process and getting accurate is even better, and you'll learn a lot from it as you go through. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. I'll see you next time.